Rallo Jr. and we're in the test kitchen today, and we're going to make ricotta gnocchi. Not potato gnocchi, not flour gnocchi, ricotta gnocchi. And here we go. Preston, move in here and take a look at all these yummy ingredients. And you'll see right here in the front, we have 2 pounds of ricotta impastata. What is that? It's a drier ricotta. If you can't find that in your store, take ricotta, 2-3 pounds, put it in a cheesecloth, get all the water out. The more water content, the more flour, the heavier the gnocchi. Start with 2 pounds of impastata ricotta. Then you take 2 eggs, 1 egg per pound. So if you're making less, 1 egg per pound. Mix it in the middle. I have 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. And what you do is you roll this together, very Italian style right here, to make the mix. Roll it together. You want to mix the eggs in. You can do this in a bowl. It's a little easier on the board. It gets a little messy. Your hands get a little messy. It's worth it in the end. Take the rest of the flour, mix it in there. So I'm making a nice dough here. You can see how it's coming together. It takes a few minutes. If you don't want to make a mess on your counter at home, you can do it in a bowl. Okay, so I have a nice dough. Now I got to add a couple more stuff to this, a couple more ingredients. Here we are back. We're ready for the final ingredients. And what I like to do is get it's like a pizza scraper. Some people call it a spatula. Cleans up your table nice, pulls it all together. We get that into a nice ball. You can see neaten everything up. So now what do you need to do? You need to add a little salt. I use a nice sea salt right here. A little bit of sea salt. The magic, a little fresh nutmeg. If you have the nutmeg, you want to grind about 1/4 of one of these pieces of nutmeg. And it's really to your personal taste. I don't like the nutmeg to overpower the gnocchi. So what we'll do is we'll knead the salt and nutmeg into the dough. If you would like to make it a little easier for yourself, you can mix with your 2 cups of flour, the grated nutmeg and the salt, and then you'll mix it all together. Either way, knead it in. That way you only do it once. I like to do it this way, so I knead them one final time, so I make sure all the ingredients are combined nicely. So now you see we have a nice dough ball of gnocchi. Now what I would do with that is, I take a little flour, I roll it in the flour so it doesn't stick to the table. And right over here, I have my finished dough ball, another one. And what I did was I cut pieces with my spatula and I rolled them out like such. And you want to get a nice even roll. So we rolled some out. And I have some rolled out over here. I'll bring them over to the center of the table. And then what you want to do is cut the gnocchi about 1 inch. Cut the gnocchi about 1 inch. Once you cut them, you take the gnocchi, and this is a gnocchi board. You can buy these online. They're about $3-4. And you roll down, and that's how we get the ridges. With our thumb, you roll them down nice and easy. And we get our ridges. This is the most time-consuming part. But you want to put the ridges in gnocchi because the ridges actually make the sauce that you use stick to the gnocchi. So it's very important to do that. And these little critters are beautiful. They come out nice and light every time. When you make a potato gnocchi or an all-flour gnocchi, there's a lot of problems that can arise. This is guaranteed every single time if you use this recipe and you use the impastata ricotta. You could have a little trouble if you use regular ricotta because it can be a little wet and you have to add too much flour, and that could be a problem, but you could usually get past that. So we make a few here. There's 2 pounds of, we'll make gnocchi for like 8 to 10 people at least. So we have the gnocchi. I have some more right here that I've done already. And you want to keep them nice and separated. And what I would do is move these to a flat cookie tray, sprinkle a little flour on the bottom, and then cover them with saran wrap if you're not going to use them right away. If you are going to use them right away, boil the water with some salt in it. They take about 3 minutes. Now, after you boil them and they're ready, what are you going to do with them? Fresh tomato sauce, pesto sauce, ragu, bolognese. Any sauce would be delicious on these. A little Parmesan cheese and olive oil is delicious. So it's really up to you. You decide what sauce you want to put on them. That's my recipe for gnocchi. Go with the ricotta. Forget the potato. Forget the flour. Again, I always go back to this. You want floaters, not sinkers. These are nice, delicious, light gnocchis. Victor Rallo, Video Recipes. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.